Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our gigantic Friday recap. I do sincerely apologize about being on way later than usual. Well, we weren't going to make it back in time for the restaurant we usually go to every Friday back in time at 11 p.m., which was fine. So I pushed it back to 11:30. And even then, still, for some reason, I'd plug in my computer, right? Then I'd walk away, and it would just seem like every time I get back, it would end up unplugged. But I don't remember myself unplugging it, which is kind of strange because I'm sure I probably did. But, obviously I was like, why does my computer keep on getting unplugged? So, yeah, we're going to try and hurry things along here as fast as possible because, well, we're at 25%. So, yeah, all right, let's get straight into this one. Of course, Muskies were in Des Moines tonight, and safe to say it was a good game. I'll tell you that for sure. Now, it all started out, well, before we even get into that, it was Des Moines' teddy bear toss tonight, so that was fun, I guess, for them, and it only took 35 seconds in. Owen West scored his sixth of the year from Andrew Clark and Owen Dwyer, or Dyer, rather, excuse me. That made it 1-0, and then, oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm tired, too, as you can tell, because I've been up since almost 6:30 this morning, so that's also why I want to try and speed things along so I can get to bed here. Because Friday nights, I always fall asleep early. Just because, I haven't gotten much sleep throughout the week. And then I usually sleep probably 10 to 12 hours Friday night into Saturday. So sometimes I'll even go to bed even before Saturday happens, which is really strange for me. But we'll keep going. We'll get to the important stuff. And then Sioux City cut the lead in half at the 13:39 mark from Trey Jeffress Trey Jeffress, scored his third goal of the season from Colin Kessler and Mikhail Van Tassel. That made it 2-1, but then that made it 3-1. Then Muskies got it within one. In fact, almost a minute in, Ethan Gardula getting his ninth of the year from Ty Hansen and Brian Nicholas. For Hansen and Nicholas, both their 16th assist on the year, respectively. Not bad. Then that third period, that's where things really started getting interesting. At the 7.5-minute mark, Max Strand ties it up with his 8th of the year from Ethan Gardula and Ty Hansen. And then at the 12-minute mark on the power play, the Muskies score and take the lead on Brian Nicholas's 9th goal of the year from Sam Court and Giacomo Martino, which made it a 4-3 game. And folks, that was the way the game ended. 4-3 was the final score. Sioux City getting another one, getting 4 straight wins now. They are a dangerous team. Actually, no, not 4 straight wins. I'm sorry. I forgot about the OT loss. They are 4-0-1, though, in their last 5, which is pretty darn good because, that's basically a 5-game point streak. And then for the Muskies, AJ White getting his first start. So, yeah, not too bad tonight. It was a really, really great night of Musketeers hockey, and we hope to have a whole lot more great nights left to come here. Obviously, other games from around the league. Youngstown beat Team USA 5-3. Muskegon beat Chicago 6-2. No surprise there. In fact, Ty Hendricks getting 2 goals on the 2 goals for Muskegon, obviously our game. And then Fargo beat Sioux Falls 3-2. Excuse me. This probably was a closer game than it probably should have been, but because it was tied at 2 with about 6 minutes left. Actually, about 5.5 minutes left, actually. So, yeah, it was a much closer game than it should have been. And then Lincoln beating Tri-City 4-2. That was another big game tonight. Dubuque beat Cedar Rapids 5-2. And then Waterloo just shut out Omaha 4-0. So, yeah. NHL games going on here tonight. The Rangers beat the Ducks 5-1. The Predators beat the Hurricanes 6-5. Bruins beat the Islanders 5-4 in a shootout, and that Preds Hurricanes game was in overtime. And then the Stars beat the Senators 5-4. Coyotes beat the Sharks 1-0. And then the Sabres and the Golden Knights are currently tied up at 2 with 11:19 left to go in the third. I'm sorry. And then we get to tonight's games in the NBA. Some are still going. In fact, just one. Then the Knicks lead the Suns 108-103 with 9:20 left to go in the fourth. The Pelicans beat the Hornets 112-107. The 76ers beat the Pistons 124-92. The Wizards beat the Pacers 137-123. Only their fourth win of the season for the Wizards. And apparently there's talk of relocation, not only with the Wizards, but with the Capitals. The rumor was that they were going to move into a new arena, both of them, in Virginia. But now what it's sounding like is somebody offered the Capitals a whole bunch of money to stay there at the arena, and nobody offered anything to the Wizards. That's what was going on to me. That's kind of what it sounded like, which I thought was pretty interesting, but if that was true. The Celtics beat the Magic 128-111. The Hawks beat the Raptors 125-104. The Spurs beat the Lakers 129-115. And then the Rockets beat the Grizzlies 103-96. Then we just had an absolute job done by the Raiders last night. Boy, oh boy, that was just crazy. Thursday night, 63-21. Thank God we weren't watching that game. Whew. 42 zip at the half. Screw that. I would have just left the stadium by then, right? Yeah. College hoops only one game on in the okay, hold on. Before we get to that, college bowl season starts tomorrow. In fact, it starts in less than 12 hours from now with the Myrtle Beach Bowl in Conway, South Carolina, between Georgia Southern and Ohio. That starts at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Central. So wake up nice and early to some college football bowl time. And then obviously the Pac-12 disbanding. They're laying off a whole bunch of employees, which is just unfortunate, but you know what? Just the way it goes sometimes, unfortunately. So yeah, there's 7 bowl games tomorrow. So yeah. Only one college hoops game tonight between UConn and Gonzaga. UConn is leading Gonzaga right now 56-40. They're about 5 minutes into the second half. So yeah, we have a lot going on around here at RVN. Stay tuned tomorrow night at, I'm hoping, 6:50 p.m. Eastern Time, so that we can do the format we did last year where we come on at 6:50. I go and get dinner or whatever, and then come back downstairs in the basement, and we'll have some Musketeers hockey for you. So it'll start hopefully at 6:50 and then go through until 10 p.m. Eastern Time. That is the goal for every night. Or maybe if it ends a little early, then we'll go until like 9:45 p.m. or whenever. Either way, though, I need to film 3 episodes of The Ronnie Show that air tomorrow after. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining us here tonight. I did have some game show news from the UK, but I'm going to wait until tomorrow night because after the game, there's still going to be a whole bunch of time left. So, because now, since we're going to either the quarter hour, the half hour, or the end of the hour, instead of just ending randomly at like 10:22 p.m. Eastern Time, for example, I've decided just to go until the end of the hour, or the end of the quarter hour, or the end of the half hour, whatever type of thing. So that's going to take effect tomorrow night. So we'll have a little bit of free time, and then our song of the night, and then our $1 million game. So yeah, that will all take place tomorrow night. Like I said, hopefully starting at 6:50 p.m. Eastern Time. If not, it'll start at probably 7:30 p.m., maybe first intermission, somewhere around there. Hopefully, cross our fingers, everything goes well with that. So, yeah, thank you all so much for joining us here tonight. Stay tuned now. I know we kind of cut into your RVN late night, but we're going to get right back into that right now.